Hey guys, Christian Hansen here. I'm the Top College Guru. Welcome to my workshop called How to Start, Build, and Grow Your Own College Prep Coaching Business from Home. Now, I'm going to be recording this so that you can watch it as many times as you want and to make sure that we get all of your questions answered. I'm also going to have a Q&A session at the end. So any links or anything that are going to be in this presentation, I'm going to be emailing to you as well. So feel free to just sit back, relax, and we'll be covering a lot of ground. But I want to make sure that we can get all your questions answered in either a follow-up conversation where I can get to know you better. So I'm going to hit the presentation right now, and then I'm going to get out of the way and so that we can go ahead here. All right, here we go. And let me get out of the way. Cool. Welcome to How to Start, Build, and Grow Your Own College Prep Coaching Business from Home. My name is Christian Hansen, and I'm the Top College Guru. So, do you enjoy mentoring and working with young people and want to help them succeed? Or are you fascinated by the college application process, but wish there was a more efficient way to ensure a successful transition to college? Or are you looking for a part-time or a full-time opportunity to create an additional income stream? If you have felt any of these things, then you're in the right place. And because I'd like to share how you can start, build, and grow your own successful business as an education consultant. And to be honest, this all started the moment that I had a crucial realization where I felt like a complete fraud. Let me tell you about it. So here's my story and why it matters. I got my undergraduate degree at Brigham Young University, then later I got my graduate work completed at the London School of Economics and Political Science in the UK. My professional career started back at BYU, where I was on the admissions committee, reviewing thousands of applications. I later became the associate director of the MBA program at UC Irvine, and then I also was over LG Electronics and their student internships, and I did ultra high net worth sales and business development and finance in the Whittier Trust. So why all of this matters is that I worked behind the scenes at every major crossroads that students go through in the first decade and a half of their adult lives. And having spent this many years inside this industry, I was mad and I was frustrated and I felt like a fraud because let me tell you why. As I reviewed and interviewed thousands of students, I realized there were problems in how the system that I was a part of prepared students for the future. The first is that I've sat across the desk from way too many students who all they ever learned how to do was simply get into college, right? They thought that success was all about SAT scores, clubs, and Letterman jackets, and they worked hard for years developing these skills. However, on day one, they all became obsolete. That's because there's a gap between success in high school and success in college, right? And so students would come to college and all of a sudden this existential crisis is happening because everything they worked on for years didn't matter anymore. And yet I was the one going out to schools telling them that test scores, clubs, and checking boxes were really important. The second problem that I saw had to do with the fact that we were teaching families to develop really unhealthy relationships with college. And the fact is that we give colleges way too much power. And students and parents stake their personal worth on value on where they go to college instead of why they're going, right? And if they're even denied by these schools where they have all their hopes and dreams, then there's damaging emotional consequences. But even if accepted, students are often unprepared to succeed. Because most people use college to figure out what they want in life, but college is really there to help you build the life you want. And so because of their lack of vision, they had no idea why they were going even in the first place. Then the third problem that I saw is that here these adults that these students are trusting to help them out were struggling to really help students be successful. You know, I saw education consultants, and they were struggling to find clients, structure their business. They were struggling to find the technical insider knowledge and, how to even create a curriculum to help students get in, right? And then parents, they were struggling because they didn't have the right information. They were practically making it up as they go, and they were struggling to grasp all the changing dynamics of higher education. And I was in a position to dispel these rumors, but I wasn't really allowed to tell people how things really worked. And so I'd watch as most parents and education consultants and teachers would spin their wheels, bending and contorting their students and essays to fit some secret checklist that I was supposedly guardian of. And students were paying the price with their mental health. That's because there was a huge information vacuum on what really worked and what didn't. And people didn't know this. And I'll never forget this. One day, a student and her family came in, and she'd been denied. She had good scores, but I realized that they had been misled on how college admissions works. And the dad said, he's like, we checked every one of the boxes, and you still deny her. We didn't even apply anywhere else because we thought she was a shoo-in. My daughter is good enough to be here. Are you saying she isn't good enough? Notice how he says that her not getting in was whether or not she was good enough. They had spent years thinking that my university was the only option, and they had never received any guidance on how to really strategically go through the college application process. They didn't have a healthy way of thinking about it, and they didn't have a backup plan. That same day, I remember counseling a student who, after a few years being in college, had accumulated tens of thousands of dollars in debt and loans, and then yet they were asking me, what major should I choose? It was in that moment that I realized that I was part of a system that was teaching and encouraging students these important skills that have a devastatingly short shelf life. On one hand, we had parents, teachers, and coaches that were teaching things that ultimately didn't create long-term success. And on the other hand, if students were accepted, they arrived and they were completely unprepared for the deeper questions about life, majors, careers, and we were loading them up with debt and not giving them the tools to really succeed. We were preparing students to fail. We were giving them what they wanted, the answer to their dreams and goals, but we were doing them a massive disservice because there is a huge gap between high school and college, right? And we weren't preparing them. And when I saw students struggle, I saw a lot of people pointing fingers. The system that I was in was only about teaching them how to get in, but it never really taught students how to go beyond. And this wasn't just in my area. As I did more research, I realized that this was a national problem. So here's some interesting stats to frame this, right? So according to Department of Education statistics, as well as the Independent Education Consultants Association, the average number of minutes that a student receives in high school about college admissions is about 38 minutes, right? And that makes sense when you know that there's the student to counselor ratio in public high schools is 476 to 1. There's no way that students are getting the type of help that they deserve. Plus, 60% of seniors in public high school never receive any counseling. Again, that's from the U.S. Department of Education and the Independent Education Consultant Association. And all this despite the fact that in the past couple decades, there's been a 150% increase in college applications. There is a massive need because there's a gap between high school and success in college, and we aren't bridging it effectively. And as an admissions officer and student recruiter, I realized that I was part of the problem. And even though I didn't create the problem, I was going to hold myself responsible to fix it because I wanted to help students achieve long-term success because there had to be a better way of doing things. And that's when I decided to launch TopCollegeGuru.com. Excuse me. Because as I looked at other education and college prep providers, I saw that most of them didn't have actual college admissions experience, right? They're good-meaning parents, teachers, and counselors, but few had sat in admissions chairs, few had decided on students, and few had debated in front of an admissions committee, right? And none of them had the combination of background that I had of working in undergraduate, then graduate, corporate HR, and then business development. And because of that, they were only thinking about how do I get students to get in? But because of my background, I started with a different question. How do I help students get in and help them go beyond? How could I prepare them to not only get into college, but to flourish there and to succeed? How could I help them succeed for their career? So I started by reflecting on what I had learned working at these crossroads, and I had two key takeaways. One was, when you read thousands of applications, you learn what works and what doesn't. And I saw a series of patterns, habits, and techniques that sets apart the top 10% from the other 90%. And these principles worked across the board. Whether it was an undergrad application, graduate, or a career interview, the principles were still the same. The other thing I learned was that all of these same situations have one thing in common, right? Undergraduate admissions, corporate HR, etc. They all are based on you need to influence people to choose you, right? So for years, people had been asking my advice, and I started to use this to build a system that used the college application as the vehicle for higher level life coaching to help students really be empowered to flourish in college and beyond. And this was a lot more than just writing catchy essays and helping students write witty essays, right? My clients urged me to write a book, and so I did. I published The Influence Mindset, The Art and Science of Getting People to Choose You. LinkedIn put it in their top 10 list, and it was a #1 bestseller as well. And the results speak for themselves. My first year, I had 6 clients. My second year, I had 9. My third year, I had 18 clients, and last season, I had 51. And this is all 100% through referrals. In terms of revenue, again, I grew steadily throughout the years with 75% average revenue growth, and I reached over 6 figures last year. And plus, I was recognized by Leland.com, one of the top coaching platforms, as one of the top undergraduate admissions coaches in the United States. So in less than 4 years, I took an idea and I turned it into a 6-figure business system that's all about helping young people learn how to transform themselves and increase their opportunities. But don't take my word for it. Let's hear from some of my clients. So Monica, she said, "You've given my son a framework and the skill to communicate thoughts and present himself in an advantageous way in college and for the rest of his life." Tom, Dad, he said, "These are higher level concepts in thinking that changes everything." Down at the bottom, he says, "These are higher ways of thinking and communicating about setting yourself apart." Evelyn, another mom, she said, "When you start this college process, it's overwhelming. It's hard plunking down money, but we have been blown away. You are 100% what you say you are, and you guided my daughter every step of the way. This experience with you has been completely worth it, and I've gotten every single penny out of it." Taylor, she said, "My friend had such a hard time writing their essays compared to me. Working with you has saved me at least 20 hours. And Caroline, she said, "I never thought I could feel so organized and confident in my essays." Now, these next two, Tommy and Dylan, they're both applicants who they applied to colleges on their own. They got denied, and then they reached out to me for help, and then they got admitted. Tommy, he said, "It's crazy how much my essays have changed. They're not even in the same universe. I learned how to really tell a story, which is really cool, and will help me for the rest of my life." Dylan, he said, "This feels like a much more easier and guided process than the last time we went through this. I have a much more specific direction." Which is why I'm talking with you. There is a huge gap that needs to be bridged, and this industry is growing, and there's an increasing demand for passionate and dedicated education consultants. Plus, imagine the impact that you could have on a student if you became an education consultant. Students who work with education consultants are 4 times more likely to attend private college and 3 times more likely to attend out of state. Again, this is from industry research. Students who work with consultants are 41% more likely to attend private colleges and universities compared to the national average of only 16%. Now, you're probably wondering, okay, so what does a college, an education consultant business even look like? And is this something for me, right? Can I do this? Well, it turns out I think you can, because the system is done for you and it's ready to go. But let me tell you about this. The average number of clients that a qualified education consultant accepts each year is 24. Again, this is industry standards and research here. The average fee that a consultant charges per student is $6,300, right? That equates to about $230 an hour for the work that you're doing. And get this, 80% of education consultants have reached their maximum client threshold, and they refer students to other colleagues. That means 80% of education consultants are filled. They can't take any more students, and they're looking for other people to get these students to. This is how in demand this industry is. Now, you're probably saying, well, those consultants are super experienced, and that's not me. I'm not. So if I become an education consultant, what are my chances of success? Well, people who have support, training, and the right systems, 73% of qualified consultants make a profit in their first 3 years, and 12% break even. Go for 4 years, that's 89%, right? This is a relationship building business. It takes time, but once you start getting a clientele that refer you through referrals, right, your business is going to grow. And people who do this for more than 10 years, and there's a lot of people who do, 94% are making a profit after 10 years and 5% are breaking even. This is an industry that has flipped the 80-20 on its head. Most of the time, only 20% of people succeed. But this industry is so in demand that when you get help and support, you're almost guaranteed to be successful. Plus, imagine if you had a business where you could work from home or anywhere you want, and what opportunities would be available to you if you had a reliable and significant income stream. And what would it mean to you if you had a meaningful and highly rewarding job impacting young people? And what would it be like to have a job where you're in control of your timing and you are your own boss? Well, the truth is you can. And 90% of this is already done for you through the Top College Guru turnkey college prep coaching system. Let me talk about what this program is and how it can help you start, build, and grow your own business, how it can help students bridge the gap, get in, flourish in college, and go beyond, right? And ultimately reducing the frustrations and inefficiencies that plague other consultants. And at the end of the day, as you use this system, I want you to keep the profits. So let's walk through it. But a lot of this has already been done and it's ready to go. So how does this work? Well, I've created a series of courses, strategies, and processes that I've used to build my six-figure business in the last 4 years. They have been tested and streamlined through coaching hundreds of students, and they use a hybrid delivery model, which reduces the amount of time you spend per student. Most of the content that you have to repeat all the time, I have put it onto online videos and an organized curriculum that students work their way through that empowers you to spend time with them just doing the core coaching that they need. Now, these systems can be taught anywhere in the world with an internet connection, and I've designed them to be as easy as possible to use. All right, so for the next several minutes, I'm going to map out this system and how it works. Now, some people like this detail and others don't, and that's okay. But what I want you to take away is how this system addresses the needs of every kind of student and family. So let's start with the students. So there are 7 different types of families that typically reach out for help. Okay, the first are the long-term game plan folks. They reach out typically between sophomore and junior year in the fall, right? They're trying to create a long-term game plan in preparation for college. Next, we have the looking ahead group. They reach out typically between January and May of 11th grade, trying to get out, they're looking ahead, trying to have a game plan. Then we have the let's get going folks. They reach out from May to August, pre-senior year. And then we have the are we too late team, right? They come in August and September looking for help. Then you'll notice the fire, the deadline help. The deadlines are breathing down their neck. They're trying to get it going in October, November. And then once we hit December, the main priority deadlines have passed. And so now we have the just get it in, right? It's just, let's just get it done. Let's just get it in. They've kind of lost their emotional drive. They're trying to meet the final deadline. And then we have people who applied on their own. They were denied. And then they want to reapply with help. Here's the thing. Each of these 7 different types of families and students have very different emotional needs and very different goals. And when I work with you and I coach you, we're going to talk about what these different emotional needs are and how you can better care for them. Now, just to see, here's the timeline of how they all fit, right? You have the long-term game plan up here in the upper left and how they need services spanning from sophomore year, sometimes up until middle of the fall of senior year, right? So let's see how the system helps each one of these students. Well, I have developed 5 key courses that help students, right? And in the end, I want to give you access to these so that you can use them to help other students in a more efficient and dynamic way. Let's start at the top here with the Passion to Purpose Profile Coaching Program, okay? This is usually completed about 6 to 18 months before the application is due. It's all about helping students develop a passion project and a college list. It's filled with personal discovery, career development, right? And it can be delivered virtually or in person. So if you were to use this course to serve others, you can do it online, over Zoom, over the phone, or you can have someone come and meet with you in person. Now, this is ideal for sophomores, juniors, and seniors. And if you were to coach this and use this to help others, I'd recommend a price of $1,500 to $2,000 per 6 months of coaching. So Here are the typical students who use this program. We have the long-term game plan folks, the looking ahead folks, and the let's get going folks, right? Coming into the summer right before senior year. Then once, we get the profile done, once we hit summer, we're trying to get ready for fall, then we enter into the one-on-one Essay Academy. This is my flagship course. It's the white glove, one-on-one help. It takes about 6 weeks to complete. Now, it can be done faster. It can be done slower. Students receive a copy of the Influence Mindset book, and this is comprehensive one-on-one support for all aspects of the application and essay writing. Again, this is hybrid delivery where most of the content is automated. It's online. Students are watching the videos, which leaves the time that you spend with them is only about 10 to 12 hours per student over the course of 6 weeks. So if you were to use this course to serve the needs of a family, it's ideal for juniors or seniors, and the price, depending on the number of applications students apply for, is about $3,500 to $5,500. Here's the kind of students that use this. Every single student type can use the one-on-one Essay Academy, no matter when they come into the system, right? Now, what if, though, what if you have a family that doesn't want the, white glove treatment, the one-on-one support, they're just trying to get it done, but they want some help? Well, I've created the College Admit Box, the complete college application system. And this is a group that works through the essays all together. It takes about 6 weeks to complete. Students receive my book, a workbook, box in the mail with all the materials. They get access to the videos, and you are simply guiding them step by step through the process with a 30-minute meeting each week as the all group meets together. Again, it can be done virtually or in person, but most of the content is already online, and you're simply guiding them through the process. The suggested price for this, if you were to serve families with this product, would be about $1,500 per student. That's what I recommend. So again, they receive these materials, and these are the student types that usually want to do this College Admit Box program. Now you'll notice, though, at the end here in the deadline help and the just get it in folks, usually it's a bit late in the season, and I don't have a lot of time for that. And so usually those two groups of people don't buy the College Admit Box program. Now, what if, though, you're last minute and you just need essay help, you don't want a lot of extra frills? Well, I have the STAR Essay Review program. Okay, it's last minute, right? Students, they just want to get it done in a week. This is self-paced, completely hybrid delivery. They watch the videos, they submit the essays, and then all you do is simply provide feedback and edit their essays. So this takes about 45 minutes of your time per student. And again, all of the content is pre-recorded online. This is ideal for seniors who want last-minute help, and I have a recommended price of about $450 per student. So the students that typically go for this are later in the season, right before the application deadlines, right? We have the, are we too late folks, the deadline help, and the just get it in folks, okay? And then finally at the end, I have how to get scholarships for college. After they've completed the essays, it's time to now start thinking about how to pay for it all, right? And this is a self-paced course. It's 100% virtual. It's all about helping students find the best scholarships and to do a creative scholarship search in order to help them get the most money for college. It's ideal for sophomores all the way through seniors. And if you offer this to families, I recommend a price of about $200, or it could be a value add. So we've just drilled into these courses. Let's just take a second here. Really big picture. Here are the 5 courses, and here's how they work together. People sometimes start with the profile development if they're early on. Then they go to option 1, which is the white glove one-on-one work, or they can choose the group essay course. Typically, people who do profile development don't do the last-minute essay, but then all of these then end up into the scholarship course where students can do that. Now, sometimes people skip profile development entirely, and they just do only the one-on-one Essay Academy, or the College Admit Box program, which is the group, or the last-minute essay review, okay? Now, one quick thing here is that you'll notice all of these student profiles coincide with the crunch time of fall of senior year, right? Now, most education consultants avoid taking students in the fall because they don't have systems to handle at scale, a good amount of students, because they're spending on average 30 hours per student, right? But if you have the systems in place, if you can handle it, then you've just accessed a solid business opportunity helping students in the greatest time of need. And again, these systems are done for you to the point where, okay, the Passion to Purpose program, it's about 1.5 hours of your time per month over 6 months. So, it's about 9 hours of your time per 6 months because the content is online. For the SA Academy, it's 9 to 12 total hours, depending on the number of applications. Again, compared to 30, that's a screaming time. You're saving a ton of time there, right? Excuse me. And then with the college admit box, it takes about 2.5 hours of your time per student over the course of 6 weeks. And the STAR Essay Review is about 45 minutes of your time per student. So, okay, let's just recap here the big picture, okay? I want you to be able to access my content and systems. As I do so, I want to provide support and coaching to help you use this content to build your own business and you keep the profits. Because the bottom line is, if you want to become an education consultant and help students, you can either reinvent the wheel and recreate all of this, or you can use a proven system. Now, for me, it's taken me about my entire career to come up with these concepts, to write my #1 best-selling book, to create these courses, and to automate them with videos, etc., right? Or you can create them all on your own. My goal is to provide you, again, the content so you can skip the line, you can get a head start, and instead of taking 4 years to slowly build your business as I have done, I want to give you a rocket booster to help you build your business more effectively, right? Now, what can you earn, right? As you use the system, if you were to get started in becoming an education consultant, well, what can you earn? Well, I have 3 plans. Now, again, you can watch this again as many times. This will be emailed to you, and I can have a conversation to answer any questions. So don't worry if this is overwhelming. We're covering a lot of information, and you're doing great. So I have 3 plans. I have the basic plan, the pro plan, and the fast growth plan. All that you need to decide is how much support you want to have while you bridge the gap for your students to succeed and flourish. And all these plans do is it gives you different amounts of support, right? The basic plan is for people who, they want to try it out, or maybe it's for education consultants trying to simplify their practice. You get access to 2 of my courses, the Last Minute STAR Essay course and the Scholarship class. The support that you receive is you get access to a Facebook community, monthly support calls, and you choose the price that you want to use to help people, that you're going to sell these courses to. Again, and it's $97 of an investment for you per month, okay? Because you're accessing my content for a subscription, essentially. The pro plan is you get access to all of my courses. You have the content, as much support to build your business using my time-saving systems. You're going to get 2 calls a month to support. We're going to have a group training for each of the courses. I'll talk about that in a minute. And then I send and take care of all the materials that students need at an at-cost fee per student. But almost more importantly, down here at the bottom is the referral sources. You see, I have more students that ask for my help than I can handle. And so I will often refer them out to the community of people on the pro plan who can handle the students and their needs. Now, this is a subscription of $197 per month on your end. Again, you get the courses. You get to determine the prices you want to charge other people. I'm simply making your life a lot easier. Now, the fast growth plan, you get all the courses, and you get business growth support. I'll be talking more about this in a minute here, but you're going to get social media content. I have a social media team, and they provide content. I provide ideas. They provide images, etc. And we work together to have a consistent flow of content. I'm going to give you access to that content so that you can use it on your own social media page if you want to. I'm going to help you with creating a posting calendar of when to post things, what to target, what concepts to hit every single year. If you want to do webinars to build your business, I'll provide you my information. and we'll be doing my personal influence mastery training. Plus, we're going to have a growth call every quarter where we're talking about the strategies of how to grow your business for that upcoming couple weeks. Now, one of the challenges that a lot of people have is, building a website or trying to create an official email account. If you would like to have a Top College Guru email, since you're part of the team here, then I will help provide one for you, and as well as some additional marketing support like creating a web page and listing you on my preferred list of coaches. Now, this is a subscription fee of $297 per month. Again, all the courses, and I'm here to help you build your business with as much social media support as I can and other forms. Now, I anticipate that the Pro Plan is probably going to be the most popular, but at the end of the day, you get the courses, you build it, and that for a subscription fee, I'm providing all the content and support that I can to help you build your business, and you keep the profits. So, but let's dig into some numbers here. Again, this maybe, some people like this detail, others don't. Again, this is just as a reference to help you see what you can reasonably expect. So your profits are based on the number of clients. Now, my journey, as I've been creating this from scratch and creating everything from the beginning, is my first year I had 6 clients, my second year I had 9, third year I had 18, and then last year I had 51. The growth took time because it was 100% through referrals, right? So if we were to use these same numbers of clients, then for the basic and pro plans, let's just say year 1 you have 6 students, year 2 you have 9, year 3 you have 18, and year 4 you have 25. And if for the fast growth plan, we're going to raise that because it's going to be more, I think your business is going to grow faster. Let's say you have 9, 18, 25, and 35. What are the numbers? Well, year 1 with 6 students, you can easily have a revenue of $19,000 and, over $19,500. On the fast growth plan, you'll have a revenue of about $29,000. That turns to a return on investment. Okay, so net right there, $17,000 minus the subscription fee that you'd pay to access my content and system and support. That's 7 times return on investment. For the growth plan, your net would be 25 minus the cost of the program. That's 7 times return on investment. Year 2, right? Your net profit would be $29,000 for 9 clients. For 18 clients, your net profit would be $64,000. That turns into a 12 times return on investment or an 18 times return on investment. Year 3, with 18 clients, you can reasonably expect about $63,000. With 25 clients, you can assume about $83,000 in revenue. That's 27 times return on investment or 23 times return on investment. And then in year 4, we're chugging along. Let's say you have 25 clients, you can reasonably expect $92,000 in net profit, or if the fast growth plan with 35, $124 in net profit. That's a 39 times return on investment or 34 times return on investment. See if you can find this same kind of return on investment in the stock market or in real estate. This is just incredible. Now, as we kind of think big picture here, are there other costs? Yeah. My business runs at about $4,400 of subscriptions, web services, etc. But a 6-figure business that is done for you, where you have all the support and I'm there to help you grow, and it can be 6 figures and it only has $4,400 of costs aside from the subscription fee, that is incredible. Now, you may be wondering, well, are there other options? Are there other people that are offering this kind of support or the opportunity to become an education consultant? And yeah, the truth is there is, right? Because you can either reinvent the wheel or you can use a proven system. But let's see the basics of what some other people are offering for their proven systems, and let's compare. Okay, so this one class called Class 101 Franchise, their franchising fee alone is $40,000. And then all the other brick and mortar requirements total between $70,000 to over $100,000 just to get into someone else's system, to use their courses, to use their systems and their strategies, right? Well, how about Advanced College Planner, right? Their initial franchising fee is $40,000, and their total investment totals between $75,000 to $95,000. Again, they are based on a brick and mortar model. But as you can see, and as technology has shown us, we don't need to use that model anymore. Because in my system, if you just have a computer and a phone and a desk, even that, you can be on a couch, right? You could be running a business coaching students, right? Now, what are the next steps? How does this process work? How could you become eligible and apply to join the program? Well, first is that I want to have just no obligation conversation, right? And you can just sign up for a call here to get to know me at topcollegeguru.com/coaching system. Again, this will be emailed to you. I'll get you the links. Be easy, okay? So you don't have to scribble this down. But look, my goal is to get to know you. You can get to know me. I can answer any questions that you have. Now, that said, if you're on the fence, if you're thinking about it, if you're wondering if it's right, just let's schedule a time. Then at least we can chat and we can get to know each other. And if it doesn't work, then we can connect in a few months. Maybe when it's the right time, then you can join the program, right? So if after our no obligation conversation, right, you're interested in applying, here's the application process. It is an application-only program, right? And look, not everybody is accepted, but there's a $250 application fee, which is fully refundable if you don't get accepted into the program. There's a formal application, and I'm going to ask for a writing sample. Now, if you're not good at writing, that's okay. Even if you don't think that you're good at writing, that's okay. My goal is to help you because you're going to be helping kids. And even those who actually tend to not be the best writers, they actually tend to be the best coaches in my experience. So I'm going to walk you through it. Don't worry, I'm going to make it really easy. I'm just trying to get an idea of how I can best help you. So once you get past, if you make it past the application process, then we're going to be in a prep stage where the biggest questions that I get asked by people is, how do I get started and how do I get clients? Well, part of the onboarding process is going to include, number one, a business launch bootcamp. Okay, this is going to help you get started to learn the content. Here's what it is. In July, we're going to be doing a 4-week intensive course where we're going to be going through each one of my courses step by step so that you can learn how it works, right? The Essay Academy, the College of Mitbox program, the Essay Review, the scholarship course. I'm going to be sending you all the course materials, the workbooks, my book as well, and then granting you access to the courses. And then as a group, as a cohort, we're going to be going through it together step by step. I'm also going to be teaching you a course on how college admission works, giving you the rundown, the technical details, again, keeping it easy and simple, but so that you can speak with confidence to parents as you're using these systems to help them and help their kids get through college applications. I'll also be providing my personal influence mindset training to help you with, emotional intelligence skills, how to connect and how to, sell and make more impactful presence there on phones, right? And then for those in the growth plan, we're going to be doing some business and marketing onboarding. Now, the value of all of these put together, right? The Essay Academy, the Mitbox program, the Essay Review, etc. This all equals to about $22,000 in value. But that's not it, right? There's more because after we complete this, I'm also going to be sitting down and connecting with you and helping you create a personalized 3-month roadmap that is all designed on how to get students. We're going to create a community networking strategy because your best resource, and you have no idea this, but your best resource is your current set of networks and the people that you know. So I'm going to be talking about how to do that. Are there tutoring companies that you can partner with? I'm also going to be giving you a list of other consultants, education consultants who live in your area, so you can reach out to them. If they are, overflowing with students, then they can refer them to you, right? I'm going to train you on that. Then for the fast growth team, I'm also going to be providing social media posts. We're going to map those out, and I'm going to help you create your own landing page. So that you have that on my website and I can refer students to there. You can help you with business cards so you can send students there. But at the end of the day, whether wherever you're at in the pro plan or the growth plan, I want to help you create a 3-month roadmap so you can get off to the races and get a head start. Because think about it. Other people who start from scratch, they don't have all the content ready to go. They don't have these kinds of systems to help them support themselves, right? So with this business launch bootcamp and the 3-month roadmap, instead of, $40,000, like I said, look, those other courses, they're expensive. And my course is expensive, but it's not even as close to expensive as to what other people are charging. In fact, it's a fraction of this. All this training and to get launched into my program is a one-time launch investment of $10,000. Okay. Now, that's a lot, I understand, but think about the return on investment over time that you're going to be getting because of this program. And when we compare it to others, if you want to use another person's system, the initial franchising fees coming at $40,000, you got, rent and all this brick and mortar related expenses that you're going to have to pay. In my system, you don't need any of those things because I'm going to show you how you can create a scalable business completely from home. Now, I just want to talk about one quick thing, and that is I do have a $5,000 scholarship program that I'm setting aside for the first 5 people who sign up for the program. And this is going to go towards defraying the cost of the $10,000 startup fee. So, and the way that you become eligible for this is simply by, let's have that no obligation conversation, right? Where I can get to know you, and in the process, simply ask me if you can be considered for the $5,000 scholarship. That's all you got to do. So a 30-minute conversation, you could be earning $5,000. So again, you get started at topcollegeguru.com/coaching system, and I'm going to be emailing this link to you anyways. As we wrap up, right, the big picture here is that I want to help you use my content and systems, and for a subscription fee, you use them to build your own college prep coaching business. I'm providing the coaching, I'll provide the support, I'll teach you the ropes. I'm going to be your point man here as you walk step by step into building your own successful college prep coaching business. And imagine the impact that you can have, right? There's this one student who I was working with. He applied and he got denied, and his parents were frustrated, and they kind of had a lot of emotional blow-ups when they were working on the applications, and the relationship was really strained. So as they were looking at this new cycle of applications, they were in over their heads. So, the mom reached out to me. She signed up her son, and initially her son was really upset. But we went through my process. I helped him build his confidence. We shifted his focus away from, college and how scary it was, and instead I helped him discover his purpose. And seeing his purpose on paper after our second session, he said, I never knew I could have this much confidence in my story. I feel like I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. After the session, his mom called me in tears. And she said, I have been praying all week for him to have angels in his life so he can feel like he can do this, that he has some positivity. This was so powerful. This approach and you are both an answer to prayer, and I just want to let you know how much I appreciated that. This has been so empowering for me to participate in. So even before her son was accepted and before she knew if he got into college or not, she was referring families my way. And more important than getting accepted, this student had a complete new set of confidence. Imagine if you could have this impact too. Because when you use the college application as a vehicle for higher level life coaching principles, and if you're focused on helping students not only get in, but go beyond, then you can have an impact on students for years and decades to come. And you can do this with a done-for-you system that's ready to go with the turnkey college prep coaching system. With all these combined, you can build your own, you can start, build, and grow your own college prep coaching business from home. Thank you so much for attending today's session. Again, to get started, I'll be emailing this out here shortly, but simply go to topcollegeguru.com/coaching system to schedule your own no obligation conversation where I can answer any questions. And feel free to watch this presentation over as many times as you need to get any questions answered. But I want to make sure that you can be successful and get a head start and avoid all the mistakes that have plagued other people in starting their own education consulting practices. And I want to help you become successful and keep your own profits. Thank you so much. Let's move on to the Q&A session here. I'll answer your questions, and I'm going to stop the recording here. But we'll be in touch, and I look forward to having a conversation with you guys. Okay, take care.